Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 begins in the shadow of a loss that changes everything. Dobby is dead, Voldemort holds the Elder Wand, and Harry Potter has finally reached the point where every choice leads straight toward war. There are no more classes, no more delays, and no more safe places to hide inside. The search for the Horcruxes has narrowed to its final stage, and that means the story is no longer about preparation. It is about ending it. The film opens with Harry, Ronald Weasley, and Hermione Granger at Shell Cottage after escaping Malfoy Manor. They are exhausted, grieving, and still carrying the weight of Dobby's sacrifice. But even in grief, there is no time to stop. They know that one Horcrux is hidden in the vault of Bellatrix Lestrange at Gringotts, and they need help to get inside. That help has a price. The goblin Griffook agrees to guide them, but only if Harry gives him the sword of Godric Gryffindor after the mission. Harry does not fully trust him, but they have run out of better options. At the same time, Harry is receiving fragments of insight through his connection to Voldemort. He sees the Dark Lord hunting for the truth about the Elder Wand, moving from wizard to wizard, demanding answers and leaving death behind him. Voldemort believes that ultimate power lies in mastering that wand, but he still does not understand one of the most important rules in this world. Power does not always belong to the person who holds an object. Sometimes it belongs to the one who truly won it. The plan to enter Gringotts is one of the last great acts of sneaking and deception in the series. Hermione takes Polyjuice Potion and becomes Bellatrix. Ron uses disguise. Harry hides beneath the invisibility cloak. With Griffook guiding them, they force their way through the bank under the constant risk of being recognized. The deeper they go, the clearer it becomes that this is not just theft. They are breaking into a fortress built on old magic, greed, and absolute control. In Bellatrix's vault they find what they came for, Helga Hufflepuff's cup, one of Voldemort's Horcruxes. But they also discover how impossible escape is supposed to be. Everything they touch multiplies into burning piles of treasure, nearly crushing them alive. Griffook betrays them the moment he gets the sword, proving that fear and greed are not limited to one side of the war. Harry, Ron, and Hermione barely survive, escaping the vault by riding a half-blind dragon out through the roof of the bank itself. That escape is thrilling, but it comes with a terrible cost. Voldemort immediately feels the loss of the Horcrux and realizes what Harry is doing. For the first time, the enemy fully understands that someone is hunting the hidden pieces of his soul. Harry is no longer moving quietly under the edge of Voldemort's attention. He is now in direct collision with him. From the visions Harry sees through the link in his mind, he understands something else. Another Horcrux is at Hogwarts. Voldemort considered the school one of the most important places in his life, and he hid part of himself there. That realization sends the trio back to the castle, not as students returning home, but as soldiers entering the battlefield where everything must end. Their route into Hogwarts comes through Aberforth Dumbledore, the brother of Albus Dumbledore. He gives them shelter, and through him they find a hidden path into the Room of Requirement, where Neville Longbottom has been leading the remains of Dumbledore's army. This reunion matters because it shows how much the younger generation has changed while Harry was away. Neville is no longer timid and uncertain. He is brave, steady, and openly rebellious. The students who stayed behind have been resisting under the cruelty of Severus Snape, the Carrows, and the regime that took control of the school. Professor McGonagall confronts Snape in one of the most satisfying moments of the film. She refuses to let Harry be handed over, duels Snape directly, and drives him out of the castle. With Snape gone, Hogwarts begins preparing for war. Teachers raise magical defenses. Statues come alive. Students of age choose whether to stay and fight. The castle itself feels like it is waking up for one last stand. Harry cannot stay focused on the coming battle until he finds the Horcrux. Through clues, memory, and instinct, he realizes the object is Rowena Ravenclaw's lost diadem. To learn where it is hidden, he speaks with the Grey Lady, the ghost of Ravenclaw House. She reveals the sad truth that the diadem was hidden long ago, and lost because of pride and betrayal inside her own family story. Harry connects the pieces and realizes he has already seen the diadem before in the Room of Requirement. While Harry searches, the war outside the walls is fully beginning. Voldemort's army gathers with giants, spiders, Death Eaters, and dark creatures. The defenders of Hogwarts gather too. Ron and Hermione realize that the cup taken from Gringotts still needs to be destroyed. To do that, they go into the Chamber of Secrets, using Harry's ability in an unexpected way through memory and imitation to open it. There they retrieve a basilisk fang and destroy the cup. In the middle of fire, panic, and war, they finally stop hiding what they feel and kiss. Back in the Room of Requirement, Harry searches for the diadem while Draco Malfoy, Crabbe, and Goyle appear to stop him. Even now, Draco is still trapped inside loyalties he no longer fully controls. The fight becomes chaos when one of them unleashes cursed fire far beyond his ability to manage. The flames consume everything in monstrous shapes, turning the room into a burning nightmare. Harry finds the diadem and the cursed fire destroys it, but the escape costs nearly all of them their lives. Harry still chooses to save Draco and Goyle. The battle raging through Hogwarts grows more brutal by the minute. People Harry knows begin to fall. Fred Weasley is killed. Remus Lupin and Nymphadora Tonks die. The cost of war stops being something reported from a distance and becomes painfully immediate. Every hallway of the castle now holds grief. Then Harry sees Voldemort calling for a ceasefire. He is searching for something else now, something more private. Harry follows that pull and watches the next terrible truth unfold in the boathouse. Voldemort confronts Snape. Believing that Snape is the true master of the Elder Wand because Snape killed Dumbledore, Voldemort decides he must remove him. He as Nagini attacks Snape and leaves him dying. Harry rushes to him too late to save his life, but not too late to receive the memory Snape gives him in tears. Those memories become one of the most important revelations in the entire series. Through the pensive, Harry finally sees the truth about Severus Snape. He sees a lonely boy who loved Lily Evans before she ever became Lily Potter. He sees how that love shaped the rest of his life. He sees Snape begging Dumbledore to protect Harry and his mother. He sees Snape agreeing to watch over Harry all these years, not because he liked James Potter or wanted glory, but because he made a promise built on love and regret. Harry also learns that Dumbledore was already dying from the curse in his hand and asks Snape to kill him when the time came, both to spare Draco and to protect a larger plan. Then comes the hardest truth of all. Harry himself carries a piece of Voldemort's soul. He is an unintended Horcrux. If Voldemort is to be defeated completely, Harry must let Voldemort kill him. This is the emotional center of the film. Harry has spent years preparing to fight, but now he learns the final act of that fight is surrender. He does not run from it. He walks alone into the Forbidden Forest, carrying the weight of everything he has learned. Before he reaches Voldemort, he uses the Resurrection Stone hidden inside the golden snitch Dumbledore left him. The stone brings back the shades of the people he loved and lost. James Potter, Lily Potter, Sirius Black, and Remus Lupin walk with him into the forest. They do not pull him away from death, they help him face it. Harry stands before Voldemort and does not resist. Voldemort casts the killing curse. What follows takes the story into a strange, quiet place that feels outside the world. Harry finds himself in a bright, empty version of King's Cross Station where Dumbledore meets him. There Harry finally understands what happened. Voldemort did kill the piece of his own soul that lived inside Harry, but because Voldemort once used Harry's blood to rebuild his body, he also tied Harry to life. Harry now has a choice. He can move on, or he can return and finish it. He returns. Back in the forest, Narcissa Malfoy is sent to check if Harry is dead. She discovers he is alive, but instead of exposing him, she quietly asks only whether Draco is still alive inside the castle. When Harry says yes, she lies to Voldemort. That lie matters because it shows one of the central truths of the whole series. Love can cut across even the darkest loyalties. Harry is carried back to Hogwarts in Hagrid's arms while Voldemort announces victory. The scene is devastating because it looks like the end. But inside the castle, the last sparks of resistance remain. Neville steps forward when almost no one else can. Voldemort offers him a place in the New Order and Neville refuses. Then as chaos erupts again, he pulls the sword of Gryffindor from the sorting hat and kills Nagini, the final true Horcrux. That act changes everything. With Nagini gone, Voldemort is finally mortal. The final battle explodes through the castle. Harry reveals he is alive, confronts Voldemort openly, and at last explains the truth that Voldemort never understood. Snape was never the true master of the Elder Wand. Draco disarmed Dumbledore first, which made the wand answer to Draco, and Harry later disarmed Draco. The wand belongs to Harry. Voldemort has been trying to kill its true master with a weapon that will not truly obey him. In the last duel, Voldemort casts the killing curse again while Harry answers with his own spell. The Elder Wand turns the curse back. Voldemort is destroyed by his own violence, and after all the fear, power, and obsession, he dies not as something immortal but as a man who could never understand the forces he mocked. After the battle, silence settles over Hogwarts. The war is over, but victory does not erase loss. The dead remain dead. Harry takes the Elder Wand and chooses not to keep it. He snaps it and throws it away, refusing the temptation of absolute power. It is a small action, but it finishes the moral argument of the entire story. The objects that promise mastery over death are not the answer. The film then jumps forward into peace. Harry, Ron, Hermione, and Ginny stand at the station as adults, sending their own children to Hogwarts. The war is behind them but not erased. It lives in memory, in names, and in the quiet fact that they survived long enough to reach ordinary life again. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 works because it is both a war film and the end of a coming-of-age story. Every thread that has been building since the beginning reaches its conclusion here. The Horcrux hunt becomes the path to the final battle. Snape's mystery becomes tragic truth. Neville's quiet courage becomes heroism. Harry's whole life of survival becomes a choice to walk toward death so others do not have to. Most of all, this film brings the series' central idea into full view. Voldemort believes power comes from conquest, fear, and escaping death at any cost. Harry wins because he learns the opposite. Love is not weakness, mercy is not failure, and accepting death when it is necessary is more powerful than trying to dominate life forever. So Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 ends with the war finished, the castle scarred, and the boy who lived no longer a boy at all. He began as a child hidden in a cupboard under the stairs. He ends as the person who faced the darkest wizard in the world, gave up everything, and came back not to rule but simply to let others live.